Hello, everyone. Welcome back to episode 12 of Striking a Chord. I am Mad Manda. With me, as always, producer Rich.
I'm
What's
still
going on?
I'm still lost at what number we are. Like the interviews have messed me up completely. Like I am now like
I probably should have included them in the numbered, but I
if
wanted to make them special, like extra special, so
if it
that's why I
makes you
didn't.
feel any better, iTunes already did. So hey.
Oh,
So when
so
people
I'm
are
probably
listening,
really confusing people.
yeah, so somebody like when you're listening to episode 12, when you're saying this is episode 12, I think it's actually 14.
Probably.
So or like 20 like on live because I know the one interview got published with live and now the your last interview just got published to the live feed. So now it's like I know that becomes a live episode too and I'm just there's 700 different episodes. That's my feeling right now.
Oh, man. Well, I shouldn't say good news, but as far good news for you, I guess, there wasn't a whole lot of new music, so it'll make it go a little faster.
I listened to a little bit. I had notes and then I realized that we're probably listening to the same thing because my idea was I was like I'm going to try to find new music that you're not going to find. And then I went, today has not been the best day, so I'm just completely exhausted right now.
Yeah, I hear you.
Ugh.
Well, I mean, at least we're not in Nashville. We would be really exhausted if we were in Nashville.
I don't
Because,
know. I think I would be less exhausted doing stuff like that than what I have after today.
do you think so?
Yeah.
I don't know, because 2 years ago when I was there, it was like the best kind of exhaustion. Like, so you didn't really like feel exhausted. Like, it caught up to you way later.
It's always the trip back that, like, okay, so the trip back's fine. It's that day, your first day at home, you just feel like absolute dog crap.
Exactly. But I would rather have that kind of exhaustion than like the kind of exhaustion I get at the end of like a regular work week.
Oh no, completely.
Which is what I was feeling Friday. So
it has been like, honest to God, the last week and a half feels like it has been a month.
Yeah, I know.
I
know. But for those of you listening who aren't sure what we're talking about, so CMA Fest was this past weekend at down in Nashville, and unofficially it kind of starts like the first week in June. Officially, it started like the 6th or 7th, I think.
And it started like unofficially a Monday, but like officially Thursday. No, I get
right.
you. Yeah.
Yeah. But from what I heard and saw via online and social media, it was really awesome. All of the new artists that we've been talking about have been down there playing shows, doing fanfare and meet and greets, and I wish I was down there.
Can I throw out something? All the new artists that you've discussed in articles and stuff, I think we're playing on the same stage. One day, like there was at least 8 of them on the same stage in one day, and I went, "Why didn't we sponsor that stage?" Like right? I was just, why the? Yeah, I was like, we missed out on an opportunity to sponsor a stage.
I know, and all of our Song Suffragette girls were down there. Kaylee Shore and Savannah Kais were hosting the Radio Disney stage. Tierra played there.
I'm still baffled at the fact that there's Radio Disney different genres now. Like that's
Radio Disney Country.
Just different genres in general for Radio Disney.
And then our guys Travis Denning played. Tyler Braden, not the Radio Disney stage, but they played there. I think Tyler Braden and Travis Denning both played Wild Horse Saloon, which is a great venue if you're ever down in Nashville. It's kind of like a restaurant bar venue.
So the Wild Horse Saloon had a very, very iconic role, not in a movie, but like on a television show back in the day.
Oh, really?
Yeah, no, TNN used to broadcast, and if I'm getting this wrong, someone will tell me. Well, maybe not, because this is old. Crook and Chase used to broadcast from the Wild Horse Saloon back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
And during their show, they would actually play the videos that would be like top of the charts. And people would be line dancing, and they go from the video to line dancing.
Interesting.
At
so
night.
I've never heard of that show.
Yeah, you haven't heard of Crook and Chase? Like Crook and Chase was like the huge top 40 countdown in country for the longest time.
No, but people do still do line dancing down at Wild Horse Saloon.
Well, yeah, no, everybody does line dancing pretty much in any country western bar. But yeah, I remember their show being on television, and they would have like the different artists and stuff, and they'd interview them, and then Nashville Now would come on. Look, I'm dating myself. Leave me alone. And like, I'm not that old, but I'm that old. Like, it's weird. But yeah, no, that like that's how I got introduced to Wild Horse was through that show.
Interesting.
That's been around for a while in Nashville.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, from like I said, from what I saw, CMA Fest was amazing. I think it rained a bit, but I mean that didn't stop any of the performers and stuff. Kelsey Ballerini just got her. I should wait to say that in music news, but I'm just gonna go ahead and say it now. Kelsey Ballerini got her next. Excuse me, I can't talk today. Her next #1 single with "Miss Me More," officially #1 on country radio. So she celebrated while she was down in Nashville for CMA Fest. She went pedal tavern on a pedal tavern down Broadway with some of her girlfriends, and like hardly anybody recognized her. Like there may have been like a couple fans that tried to like grab a couple pictures with her, but other than that, like she was able to enjoy herself. So I thought that was pretty cool, and good for her for getting a #1 single. Hopefully, Maren Morris will be the next one to do it.
She's #7 right now. I just saw that.
Oh well, there you go. Everyone listening, go and I don't even know if they still do this, but call your local radio stations
Does
and
anyone?
request Maren Morris
No,
girl.
no one has a phone anymore.
Well, they do. They just don't use it as a phone.
I know a lot of radio stations now take the request online.
Yes, that's true. You can request it via Twitter, Facebook, and I don't know, email, I guess.
And they're crappy websites because a lot of them are bad. Oh my god.
But yeah, so if you were down in Nashville for CMA Fest, let us know. Post something on our Facebook page or our Instagram, or tweet at us. Striking a Chord official for Facebook, Striking a Chord at Instagram, and Striking a Chord 6 at Twitter. And then you can always send us an email as well, strikingachordofficial@gmail.com. So with that, then I guess we'll get into new music alerts.
Sounds good.
All right. So the queen from country 90s country herself released a new song on Thursday, and it's so good. Miss Trisha Yearwood.
Thought you were gonna say Reba.
No. Trisha Yearwood released "Every Girl in This Town," and she performed it for I want to say for the first time down in Nashville this past weekend at Nissan Stadium. It's such a great song. It feels like classic Trisha Yearwood. It was co-written by Caitlin Smith, and I forgot the other guy's names, but this is a huge one for Caitlin Smith. So I feel like she's been around for a little while because she also wrote a song for Garth Brooks in the past, and she had first EP, and then she had her debut album, I think, if not last year, then the year before, and she's working on a follow-up to that. That album was called Starfire. But yeah, so this was a big deal for her for getting a song cut by Trisha Yearwood, and so it's got a bit of a like anthemic feel to it. It's just about how we as women we go through and experience so many of the same things, and how we should just let our pain and struggles make us stronger. And I guess technically that can apply to anyone, no matter what gender you are. But this specifically, like, it's meant towards the ladies. So it's got a really good feel to it, and I love this song. I think if you haven't listened to it yet, go listen to it. I think everyone will love it. It's just such a good song. I can't wait to hear it on country radio. And then, oh, Mr. Chase Rice. Chase Rice released his newest single, "Lonely If You Are," and it's a follow-up to his last song that just went #1. It was I don't want to say it was the only single off of his last album, but it was the only like radio hit, "Eyes on You," which went #1, and it was his first #1, I believe, which is hard to believe. Well, technically that's not true. It was his first solo #1 because he had a #1 with when Florida Georgia Line Cruise went #1 back in the day. But anyway, so Chase Rice. So here's the thing with Chase. He has so much talent, especially as a songwriter. And if you want to hear examples of that, go back to his early work and listen to those songs. And then somewhere along the line, he got. I feel like he's lost. He got lost for a while, and you can really hear that on the album that had. What was it? Oh boy. It was his
I,
like big it was his big debut album. The one that had most of the radio songs.
give me 1 second. I was like, I
It's
had
gonna
to
drive
look
me
at.
nuts.
Yeah.
I can picture the album in my head.
Da. I have. Yeah, no, I know nothing here. Like,
But so, and some of those songs, I mean, the songs were good, don't get me wrong, but he started to get lost, and then like he made this big deal about how the next album he was working on, he left his label, and he'd signed with a new label, and he was going to make an album that like full of songs that just were who he truly was as an artist, and he wasn't gonna do it for the label. He wasn't gonna listen to anyone but himself.
so you
But
said
then,
Chase Rice, right?
mhm,
He's got. Which album are you discussing? Country is Me or Dirt Road Communication?
after that,
Ignite the Night
that's the one that had the radio hits on there.
and Lambs and Lions.
So Lambs and Lions is the one that came out last year, and that's the one where he said, he was on the new label. This was going to be like his like, this is who I am. Like this is really me. This is the music I want to make. That was a statement like he came out with. And the first couple singles or first couple songs that he released off it, like I forget the names of them, but those were the ones that like that's who he is. Like that's just what it sounds like. Like if you go back to listen to his early stuff, that's who he is as an artist, as a songwriter, in my opinion. But then he released the rest of the album, and it was nothing like what his real fans were expecting. Uh, it was all over the place. It didn't feel like him. It didn't feel like what we know he's capable of. And so that it was kind of let down. And I think that's why it didn't really do well commercially. So then after Eyes on You went number
Jeez.
one, he said on his Instagram, this next song, it's a new song, it's not even on that album, and it's the follow up to that, and it's Lonely If You Are. Now he performed on his Instagram last week, acoustic. Great, great song. And I think I actually commented like, great song, but please don't put a backbeat on it. And so there's no backbeat on there, but there's finger snaps in the beginning, which okay, whatever, that's fine. Um, it's not a bad song. It's not. In fact, like it's actually really catchy. I've had it on repeat for a while, but it feels like he's chasing radio. And I don't know why, because he's never been that person. It's hard not to like the song because it's so catchy. And I mean, look, he references The Bachelor in the song. Uh,
Wasn't he a reality TV star himself?
he was on Survivor, yeah.
Woo!
But so it kind of feels like a sweeter version of like a booty call, kind of.
Oh God.
That's what the song feels like if you listen to it. But again, it's hard not to like it, and his vocals are really good in it. It's just he can do better. And again, if you go back and listen to his early stuff, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. So that's my issue with Chase Rice. Like, I would love to sit down with him because I have so many things I want to ask him. Like, dude, like, I think he's lost personally. He may not know it even. Like I said, I think he's just chasing the radio at this point. And whatever, that's fine. Like, if that's the kind of artist he wants to be, go with it. But I just think, as a fan who's listened to him since the beginning, I I know he's capable of more, and that's what's really disappointing. So if Chase Rice released, like I said, like a sweeter version of a booty call. Runaway June released a single off of their upcoming album, full length album. It's called Head Over Heels, and Heels is Heels.
Yeah.
So this is like the exact opposite message of Chase's song. This talks about how as the female, she's not gonna fall victim to waiting around for some booty call or a text from a guy. And so I thought it was kind of interesting that they came out at the same time, because like I said, like if you play them back to back, it's basically like opposite messages, and it's kind of cool. But Runaway June, I mean, their harmonies are perfect, and I like this song is so great. It's such a jam. Obviously, especially if you're a girl, you're gonna love this song even more. But I know some guys who were talking about how great the song is over the weekend during CMA Fest. They were posting it nonstop in SiriusXM's The Highway discussion group on Facebook. So yeah, definitely, like even if you're a guy, check out Runaway June. They're awesome. They're so talented, and gorgeous ladies too, as well. And then our girl Alana Springsteen released her self-titled EP, her first EP. So this is a great introduction to who she is and like who she is as an artist, what we can expect from her in the future. She's got a really super sweet, angelic voice, and she writes from the heart. Like I said, I think she's like a young Taylor Swift, Kelsey Ballerini in the making. So I think we have a lot to look forward from her. The two new songs that were on the EP that I really loved were "Always Gonna Love You" and "Over." She's just got some really beautiful storytelling in those two songs in particular. So definitely check those out. And then Mr. Luke Combs released his new EP, the prequel, and I I was hesitant.
Are you backtracking a little bit here? I'll call you
So
out on it.
I already told Matt about this one too. I was like, damn it, like Luke Combs got me with this EP. But he did. This EP was excellent, and personally, I think it's better than the debut album that came out a couple years ago. But it's just an excellent EP. It's a great piece of work. The song that really got me was "Even Though I'm Leaving," which was co-written by one of our previous upcoming artists, Ray Fulcher. So he's got a couple tracks on here that he co-wrote, and "Even Though I'm Leaving" is one of them. This song will emotionally wreck you. I'm telling you. Listen to it with like a box of Kleenex. I'm not kidding. This song is it's just so heartbreaking. Excellent storytelling on this EP. Like I said, definitely better than the full-length album that he released like a year or two ago. Another song on there, "Refrigerate Your Door." It's a really cool song. It's very nostalgic, and it's an interesting concept. Like, to write a song about like the photos and stuff like that, save the dates, the kind of stuff that you put up on your refrigerator door that it may not seem like a lot, but then when you look at it, it's kind of like almost a reflection of your life. So it's really cool the way he wrote that song. Yeah, and then "Moon Over Mexico" is a good song, and obviously people are already enjoying "Beer Never Broke My Heart." And then "Lovin' on You," I think, is another one. That's a really great song. So obviously everyone loves Luke Combs. This EP is only further helping that. So definitely go check out that.
I have a question about him. What's up with the beard? Like,
beard?
Like, seriously.
I don't know.
Like,
it's he's always had it, I think.
It's a neck beard, dude. No. No. Like, that's all that is. Like, it's creepy. I'm sorry.
Have you seen his fiance?
Yes. And I don't understand the neck beard. Like, that's what I'm getting at. Like, I mean, you look like a reject from the bass fishing tournament. Like, I'm sorry.
Nice. That's not nice.
It is nice. Like, that's the nicest thing I can say about the beard. Like, just the beard. No, I think he's got a great voice. But the beard? No. Drop it. Get rid of the beard. Hashtag beard off. Done.
Oh, boy.
I'll take the flack. I'll take the flack for that. I don't care.
Send your hate mail to TBK Magazine.
Yeah, that's fine. And that's fine. I'm 100% okay with it. But it's weird. Like, it's a neck beard. That's kind of what every nerd is called. Like, it's a derogatory nerd term for nerds. Like, nah. That's an honest to God joke. And I'm like,
You're very wound up about this.
Yeah, I didn't even I just looked up photos of this dude just because I'm like, I think I know what he looks like, and then I just saw it. I'm like, what? All right, continue on.
Oh boy. So Gone West, who I absolutely love, it's Colby Calais, in case you guys don't remember from a few episodes ago. Colby Calais, her fiance, Jason Reeves, who is a songwriter, long time. He's actually been like her like right hand man, Colby Calais, and his wife. They're all decided, like, they've been friends for like so many years now, and they can all sing and are musically talented. They formed this group, the four of them, and they're killing it. They released their EP earlier this year, which is awesome. Go check that out. And they released a new song, which is not on the EP. It's called "What Could Have Been," and they released it on Friday. The four of them have such beautiful harmonies. Like, despite how different their voices are, they're just beautiful, beautiful harmonies. And their songwriting, like, I don't know what their process is as far as like how it works when they're writing and recording and stuff, but impeccable songwriting. So descriptive and just very real. And this song, like, it's right up there with the new Lady Antebellum song, in my opinion. It's so good. And again, you may or may not need a few Kleenexes when you listen to the song. It's a perfect song for radio. Like I said, I think they're the next like Lady A. And then Ryan Hurd, in case you forgot, is Mary Morris's husband. Also a very talented singer-songwriter. He released a new song on Friday. Her name was Summer. He's got such a distinct voice, in my opinion. Nobody else really sounds like him. And he's got his own way of writing as well. Like, he just puts his own signature stamp on it. And this song is another great example of that. So this one's about a summer romance, how it can be the most passionate and memorable experience, but it's also gone too soon. I'm sure anyone who's had a summer romance knows what I'm talking about. But yeah, he's just got some really great descriptive lyrics, and he's another one who just, it seems like it comes natural and easy for him, the songwriting. So definitely go check that song out. And then somebody who really, I only liked like one or two songs by him, and I wasn't expecting to like his new stuff. But Andy Grammer, he's got an upcoming album coming out in July. So he released a new single off of it. It's called My Own Hero. It's really good. It's got a bit of a darker sound to it than we're used to hearing from him.
Wow. No, I'm not trying to laugh. Just like, what? Wait, what? The same guy who's singing Honey, I'm Home, or Honey, I'm Good? Like, really?
So I don't want to say it's like got like a total bluesy sound to it, but it's got a bit of a, like, I want to say it's like a bit of a bluesy sound, but it's just darker. I think it really shows that he's actually pretty underrated as a vocalist and an artist in general. You gotta listen to this song. It's so good. And then also the current radio single off of that album, which I believe is Don't Give Up on Me. And that's actually, so I've kind of skipped over it whenever it came on the radio because for whatever reason, like the part I catch just hasn't caught my ear.
Right.
But I listened to it on Friday after the new song, and it's actually a really good song. So I'm actually really looking forward to his new album. So that'll be good to hear. And then Temecula Road. So they're a country trio, but like Delta Ray, they changed their sound up since their debut, just like Delta Ray did, and so now this is their first single since they've changed up their sound. They need to ditch the backbeat. That's the first thing I'm going to say. It's definitely more pop than country, but it's not a bad song. I really like it. But it's about waiting for the memory of an old love to fade. And yeah, I mean, it's a really good song. It's kind of upbeat. It's got that, like I said, it's got that backbeat to it. But so it'll be interesting to see what else we get from them. But yeah, definitely check that out too. At least give it a listen. And that's actually it for new music. There wasn't a whole lot that came out this week.
I had more, but then I lost my list. So that's twice. Oh. That is twice in 2 weeks. Like, are you kidding me? This one was my fault, though. I'm learning a new phone.
Oh, I still can't believe you switched from an iPhone to an Android.
Hey, Apple Music works better on it.
I did that once and never again.
Oh, I'm happier I did now, especially after the Apple $1,000 computer stand. But I know that's a completely different topic.
Yeah, I went back and listened to live, so I heard you rant all about it.
Yeah, no, if you guys want to listen to me go off on Apple, check out
totally go off.
Episode 160 of Live, and not to mention 161, because I'm probably going to do it this week too. And I wrote an article about it, so there you go. I was mad at Apple. Oh,
I know.
I still don't. I know this is music related. I still don't know how they're going to bring music to the PC world, because I know iTunes is not officially dead, but it is on a Mac, which tells me it's
what's going to happen is I think you'll still be able to, like, for people who use it on a desktop, I think they'll still be able to access the iTunes library. They just won't be able to purchase new music.
I'll be honest with you. I don't see them killing iTunes for Windows. I just don't.
Yeah.
The more I thought about that, I'm more like, they're not going to ask us to download 3 different apps, are they?
God, they better not.
That's what I'm thinking is going to happen because that's what they want. That's what they're doing for Mac, but that's what the iPhone does too. I get it. But my battery life's been great. I haven't had to charge in like a day and a half, so boom.
I have a iPhone XR, and I don't have to hardly charge it that often. So
it's nice,
boom.
right? It's nice. It's completely nice. Like my iPhone 7 just went, nope, I'm going to have you charge me every 27 minutes.
Yeah, my old one was horrible, but my old one was a success. So.
Oh, yeah, no, I get that.
So our next segment is artists to watch for, and you know what? I'm going to do so Alana Springsteen and Madison Kozak. So they both have their debut EPs out right now. They're both fantastic EPs, and both of these ladies have such a unique sound that's all their own, but they're both equally powerful and just so much potential to go far, given the right opportunities from labels and radio. So yeah, those are the 2 artists I want you guys to watch for right now, Alana Springsteen and Madison Kozak. Like I said, go check out their 2 debut EPs, both available now. And then Amanda's music picks of the week. So this is what I've been currently obsessed with this past week or 2.
Rob Thomas?
I still listen to Rob Thomas, guys. Dude, I gotta pause for a second. I have to tell you guys that, oh my god, so he brought his Chip to Smile tour to Chicago on this past Thursday. And dude, I sulked so hard on the inside. All I could do was talk about anytime anybody asked me, Amanda, what's wrong? Why are you so quiet? I'm sulking on the inside. Why? Because I'm not seeing Rob Thomas tonight. Oh. Those were pretty much the reactions I got. And then a couple were, wait, he's in here, favorite artist? Yes. Why aren't you there? Well, you see, it's because the venue is too far for me to go by myself. And apparently I need more friends with better taste in music.
Jeez.
That's the conclusion that I've come to.
We're not calling anyone out here. But
no, not naming names, just saying.
Jeez.
Need more friends with better taste in music, apparently.
Okay, so what? No, just out of curiosity, what is the taste in music? I'm really intrigued now.
Rob Thomas.
No, not for you. Not for you, but for the friends.
What do they currently have a taste for?
Yes.
I don't know, rap and hip hop and pop, I guess. I mean, some of them like other good stuff too. Like some of it's country, but I don't know. People just don't want to do stuff, I guess.
I don't know. Concerts are weird sometimes. Just throwing that out there. But
yeah, but it sucked so bad. I really wanted to see Rob Thomas on this tour because this album is amazing. Obviously, you guys know I've talked about it for months now. And so prior to his show in Chicago, I think it was like the day before, Abby Anderson posted a video to her Instagram, which I posted on the Striking A Chord Facebook page, as well as the Instagram page. So during her opening set, there was some kind of like technical problem and the sound went out. So while her band tried to fix it, and they did eventually fix it, she grabbed the acoustic guitar and just started singing. And she went into a cover of Stand By Me.
Nice.
And so I guess Rob Thomas watches her set every night, side stage. Amazing, right? And so when he saw her pick up the acoustic guitar and just started singing, to kind of kill time while the band was fixing the sound, he comes up and doesn't steal the sunshine, like steal the spotlight, but just sings along with her, but mainly like lets her do it. But it was the perfect duet. Like it was so good. You guys, if you haven't seen that video yet, you have to go watch it. It was so good, and so it just made me want to see him live even more. But I missed my chance, and I'm very upset and still bitter about it, guys. In case you haven't picked up on that. But yeah, so I mean, obviously, Chip You Smile album is always going to be my number 1 pick of the week, every day, every week.
That's why I said what I did, because I was like,
But I do, I give it a break sometimes, and I listen to other stuff, obviously. So my picks of the week are Christian Bush. I told you guys last week that he released a new EP. It's basically like the soundtrack to your summer. But there's a song on there called Everybody Needs Their Beach. and it's a duet. I forget the other guy's name, but it's a great song, and I think everyone should go listen to it. Runaway June, Head Over Heels, fantastic song. Chase Rice, Lonely If You Are, as much crap as I give them, like I said, but it's just a hard song not to like. It really is. Luke Combs, Even Though I'm Leaving, dude, that I said it already. That song, it'll wreck you. I'm telling you. Uh, Trisha Yearwood, Every Girl in This Town. I'm so glad she's back on radio, and this song is so great. I really hope she gets a #1 with this. And so those are my picks of the week. Those are the ones, if I had to single some out to recommend to you guys, those are the ones that I definitely would recommend you listen to first. And then we're going to go into music news / on the road, because a lot of it is intertwining. So we actually have a lot for this.
Oh.
Blink-182, obviously I told you guys this, is touring with Lil Wayne, and will be performing the entire Enema of the State album in its whole. So they did confirm that they will be playing the album in full at Riot Fest, for those of you coming to Riot Fest in Chicago in September. So you'll have that to look forward to. And hopefully Lil Wayne will not be at Riot Fest. Hopefully he won't come out. Carlos Santana released a new album. It's called Africa Speaks. I haven't listened to it, but Carlos is one of like the best guitarists of all time, so I'm sure it's a great album. Voodoo Music and Arts Experience in New Orleans, October 25th to October 27th. The headliners for that are Guns N' Roses, Post Malone, Beck, Brandi Carlile. And then there's obviously a whole bunch of other artists playing as well. So if that's something that sounds like you'd be interested in it, go check that out.
I didn't know how to feel about it. I thought last year's lineup was better.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Because we actually talked about going last year. Like, last year's lineup was so much better than I feel this year's.
I've heard New Orleans during Halloween is supposed to be an excellent time.
Oh no, that's worth it alone. But I mean, but I just think the lineup for the festival is not as good this year.
Yeah.
But
Nelly, TLC, and Flo Rida are going touring together this summer. I don't know if I mentioned that before or not.
I'm 100% in on that because I love me some Nelly. I'm not gonna lie to you. St. Louis, go Blues. I will say that on this show.
Oh, you're talking to Chicago Blackhawks.
Yeah, and the Blues are actually in the Stanley Cup this year. Where are the Blackhawks?
Anyway.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
We have enough. We figure we'd give it someone else a chance.
Yeah.
Slipknot's new album, We Are Not Your Kind, is going to be out August 9th for anyone that's interested in that. They also announced Knotfest, which is, and I quote, a mind-altering collision of music, art, and culture.
I like the idea. Knotfest. I'm looking this up. I gotta.
They'll be touring with Volbeat, Gojira, and Behemoth.
Knotfest. All right.
Yep. So all you metalheads,
that could be fun. I'm not gonna lie about it, but
not my kind of rock music that I prefer, but I know there's a lot of people that do like it, so that's good for you guys. And then Jonas Brothers released their new album, Happiness Begins. Again, not something I listened to all the way through. I tried to get through it, but
I'm in on it. It's fun.
Not really there for the Jonas Brothers. And Miley Cyrus released a new EP called She Is Coming.
I have not listened to it yet.
Not here for that either, but again, if that's what floats your boat, there you have it.
I have not listened to it yet. I've seen the music video. Well, I take that back. I've seen the music video. The music video is weird.
Yeah.
Music video is really weird. So I actually do have a festival that's close to me. It's Mempho Fest. And
Mempho Fest?
Yeah, Memphis. It's for Memphis. But
okay.
The headliners might be the weirdest group of headliners I've heard. They're doing a special tribute to Sun Studios as well during this. So
nice.
you have all of that. Like you have all of that happening, and then you have the Raconteurs, Brandi Carlile, the Revivalists, and the Wu-Tang Clan.
Interesting.
I mean, like I sat there and went, oh, that's a lineup. And I know Lord T and Eloise from something, and for the life of me, I can't figure it out.
Huh.
Yeah, I mean, I've been racking my mind for that like all day long, and I know who they are. But that's it. And Lovely the band, and I mean, there's the bands you've never heard of is also there. So
Yeah. I did forget one more news music alert because I found out about it on Saturday as opposed to Friday, but it did come out on Friday. So Sam Riggs is so he's a country artist. I'm not familiar with his previous work, but apparently this new album, it's 7 new songs. So technically, I don't know if it's an EP or an album, but it's called Love and Panic, and apparently it's different from his previous stuff. But according to him, he just posted on Facebook over the weekend that it's the music he's always wanted to make, and it's just who he truly is. And there's this really long Facebook post. You can go follow him on there if you want to read it word for word. But that's basically the gist of it. It doesn't feel super country, but it has a really good sound. It's got a lot going on musically, so it's very like I don't want to say it's over the top, but it's just like very elaborate, maybe I guess. The If you look at the artwork, the album artwork, it matches the music. Like, and when you look at it, you'll get what I'm saying. Like, it's very like otherworldly, I guess, kind of. But so yeah, so the musicality matches the high emotion and the passion that's going on in the lyrics. It feels definitely more pop rock with a slight twang to it, is what it feels like to me because of
would that be Sweet
the
Twang?
instrumentation and everything. Sweet twang is not a thing, guys. I don't know what I was on last week, but that's not a thing. We're not going to talk about that.
July 1st. That's all I'm telling you.
No, you cannot do that to me.
It's going to be in the shape of one of those old school like mason jars, and it's just going to spell twang with a straw in it.
Dude, that's kind of awesome, though.
Yeah, it's going to have a limit on it. Like, it looks great. Like, I've seen the prototype of this shirt, and I'm like, that's awesome. I got a friend working on that one.
When are we getting our Ditch the Backbeat shirts?
Coming soon as well. Probably July 1st. I'm not going to lie to you. There's a little bit of a pressing shirt. Like, more shirts have kind of taken the front center stage right now.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, crap. Because I realized that I still have not got up other shirts yet. And I went, oh, well, the other shirts are selling. That's all that matters right now.
Yeah.
So.
That's awesome, though. And yeah, so in case you guys have not gone yet, you can go on TBK Magazine's shop and get all of your t-shirts for each of our shows. TBK Live, the Brody and Richard Show, Striking A Chord, the Winos, and so many more.
SNS, yeah, all the shows. SNS. And I mean, right now, we're doing a special charity thing, so check that out. And yeah, we're not making any money off those shirts. So, and I'm 100% perfectly fine with that. So, we've got a lot going on at Shop TBK, as well as the website itself. So, I'm not going to talk about everything coming up because, oh my goodness.
But our current TBK Live or our TBK shirts are for the to celebrate Pride Month this month.
Yeah, there's actually specific shirts and different logos, and there is going to be new logos probably going up all year round for this because I've met some amazing charities, and if you haven't listened to our last episode of SNS, you should. That's my one time I'm going to plug that show on this one. It's a really great interview. Independent wrestler doing a great charity for fallen fans who have fallen on hard times, and then and we're also donating to the Trevor Project all month long. And if you don't know about that, it helps LGBTQ youth suicide prevention, and it's an amazing cause. So check all that out.
Yes,
Yay.
Definitely. And go stock up on your summer t-shirts over at TBK Shop.
And tank tops are coming. I probably should make that abundantly clear. Like, I've been messaged. Look, I get it. You guys want all these different types of shirts. Right now, there's only one up of everything. I'm working on it. It takes time.
He's only one person.
That is very true. Jeez. Jeez.
With only 2 arms and 2 legs like the rest of us.
Depending on the day, it's like one arm. Because my dog likes to be held. Real. Like, yeah, no, she's almost a baby. Like, it's kind of like she will be held while I'm listening, by the way, to the worst thing ever. Like, it's always to the Moana soundtrack.
Oh, you and that damn Moana soundtrack.
I've been listening to it. Like, that's probably been my, like, if I had to pick music pick of the week, it's that. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh.
I don't know why.
So our feature segment for this week is bands and albums that changed the hard rock genre in the 2000s. I realize that we've done a lot of episodes that have been more geared toward the country music fans in that genre, and so I don't want to alienate our hard rock or metal fans, if we have any, which I hope we do, because look, hard rock is one of the first genres that I really fell in love with as a teenager. So I definitely want you guys to see that side of me and get to hear more of that on the podcast. So that is our topic for tonight. And I mean, I don't know about you, but I got a top-notch list.
Mine starts and ends with Evanescence. Like, I'm just gonna call it now. Like, it's last week all over again for me. Like, nope, I got this one. All right.
So that's your. So we're gonna start with.
Yeah, let's just start out. Yeah, it's Fallen by Evanescence. Look, this album. Okay, first of all, in the rock genre at that time frame. Now, I'm not saying in period, like for all time, but at that time frame, the female lead singer was not really a huge thing.
Yeah.
It was 2002. I mean, unless like you count Avril, I don't think you do. You might. I don't know. I don't know where she falls in.
No, she was more pop.
It gets rock. Like punk pop, and I know that was a thing. So she fell. But and then Evanescence came out, and it was so different, and it was so awesome. And then all of a sudden, it was just an explosion of all this great music all at like once. Just boom.
Yeah. So speaking of those female-led hard rock bands in the 2000s, fast forward 3 years. What year did you say that album came out?
2002, 2003.
So 3 years. Yeah. Fast forward 3 years. 3 years later. And Flyleaf debuted their self-titled album, which blew everyone away. The lead singer at the time, she's not with the band anymore, Lacey Sturm. I mean, holy crap. Like, she is one hell of a singer. And that band, I mean, they weren't, so that was a female singer who was doing something that no other female singers were doing. Like Amy Lee from Evanescence, she was more of that, like, operatic kind of singer.
Yeah, no, she was. Amy Lee had that, it was a powerful voice, but she could sing other genres too.
Right. Whereas Lacey Sturm, I mean, she had this, like, she is this tiny little thing, and she could scream and sing, and it was just insane. In 2016, she released her solo debut album, which was also really, really great. So definitely check that out if you haven't yet. But yeah, so I guess since you brought up Evanescence and the female hard rock singers, so then I would go with Flyleaf as well for albums and a band that changed hard rock in the 2000s at that time.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. I'm going to be just raked over coals if I don't talk about the White Stripes. And I know it.
But they're not hard rock.
I think that album's more hard rock than anything at this point. That 2002 no.
This is so debatable.
Oh, come on.
When I think of White Stripes, I think of alternative rock.
Same difference. Jeez.
No,
look.
No,
because if we're going hard, like Evanescence is labeled alternative rock. You know this, right?
But they're hard rock. Like, Bring Me to Life was more hard rock than it was alternative.
But but alternative at that time for the 2000s is the exact definition of hard rock for that genre. For that time
there was a very fine line.
I do believe we have to classify alt rock in this as well, because we couldn't put Shinedown in this list at all.
So I would put Shinedown as hard rock.
See, I wouldn't. I put them as alt rock because they all like. Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying.
When I think of alt rock, I think of Fuel or Three Doors Down. Or The Calling.
No.
Yes.
I think we just have to classify this all falls together at this point.
Oh no, alt rock is a totally separate list.
No, like they're okay. So it depends on the fan, because that could bleed.
Oh.
You know I'm right.
No.
Like,
that's rough.
Like, seriously, they bleed together.
Oh, I think we need a referee here.
Yeah, well, that ain't happening tonight. So, but I mean, I believe that, like, that, the one, 2002, I mean, come on. That was a great year for rock, by the way, if anybody
Well,
wants to
yeah,
go off on that.
obviously.
But,
So what White Stripes album are you adding to your list?
give me 1 second. I actually
Yep.
have to, yeah, no, I was not prepared at all.
It's okay.
I think I've got to go with White Blood Cells.
Okay, is that the one with
Fell in Love with a Girl?
Seven
Yeah.
Nation?
No, that's actually the one with
Seven
Fell in
Nation
Love with a
Army?
Girl. Yeah, Seven Nation Army is also really good, but I'm not sure that came out in the 2000s.
I was never a White Stripes fan.
See, I love them, but I don't love them. Okay, so I love this version of them, and then they kind of just fell off the map. Like, I don't like, and I know they broke up, and I get it, but yeah, Seven Nation Army was on Elephant, which is also a really good album too. But I remember, so it was weird for the genre to have more than one album. For me, like, for me, rock is just, I put it all under one because you can't really justify unless it's screamo, and then I'm like, nope. Yeah, that's where I draw my.
This is where we agree to disagree.
That's where I draw my line for rock. Is like, I can't listen to anybody going like that.
Well, yeah, no, that part neither can I.
Even though I've been to a metal, what is it, a death metal fest, but that's not. But it was at that time, like, I think rock was being very much overlooked.
Yeah.
And Evanescence and a lot, but like, just a few bands kind of came out at that one time that just kind of drove everything. Like 3 Days Grace. 3 days. I'm thinking.
3 Days Grace.
Yeah, and there's another one. Oh, I don't want to say
there's a whole bunch of them.
I don't want to say Finger 11 because damn. But like, I can hear that song in my head. I just like, no, I don't want to put that one on there. But like, at that time, it was just kind of a Renaissance era that launched like the entire rest of the 2000s.
Yeah.
Because fudge. Like, there for a while, rock music was just crap.
I think once the 2000s hit and all these new bands started coming out, hard rock really hit its peak.
It's like after grunge, rock died for a while. It was just kind of like meh.
For a short period.
Yeah, it just kind of just fell off the map. Like,
yeah, and then the 2000s happened, and all these amazing bands started coming out, and I mean, hard rock just blew up again. And
now I think it's in another period.
Still thriving.
I think it's in another period where it's not as strong as it was, but at least it's not like 1995.
Yeah.
96. Look, I love Blind Melon just as much as the next person, but no. Like, how can you give me Blind Melon after Nirvana? No.
Yeah, that was weird.
Okay, back then.
So one of the bands I think we cannot go without talking about if we're gonna talk about 2000s hard rock is Papa Roach. And look, guys, you can love them or hate them, but I mean, they're like, Infest came out in 2000. Okay,
I have a love-hate relationship with them.
2004, Getting Away with Murder came out, and that album had so many radio hits.
Oh no, that album's great. But after
they were huge.
They died. Like, they just went out of like, nope.
Well, I mean, they definitely
changed their sound.
Their ups and downs.
I don't understand. When you find something that works for you, don't change it. Like, well, I mean, change it,
but at the same time, you have to grow, and in order to grow, you have to change things up.
Have you heard? Oh crud! I know the Papa Roach song. Like, I love them. I think the mid 2000s. Yeah. I remember having Papa Roach on like everything, and plus my Last Resort still probably one of my like all time. If I'm pissed songs, that song is in my playlist. But what song is To Be Loved? Have you heard To Be Loved?
I think so.
I guess it came out in like 2010.
Okay.
It's on I think it's on Metamorphosis.
Oh, Metamorphosis. I didn't dig into that album too much.
It's either that one or is it like, when did that? Oh, it's from 2006. Okay. So it's on the Paramore Sessions.
Oh, okay.
That is To Be Loved is one of those songs where I went, your Papa Roach is now just dead to me.
They're not dead. I mean,
they're dead to me. They're not.
Definitely Infest and Getting Away with Murder were their two best albums. And I mean, between those two albums alone just spawned so many hits. They made them just huge on rock radio. And I mean, Jacoby Shaddix, guys, he became one of the most influential frontmen in the genre. Like, everybody knows who he is. You know what I mean? Like, and he's also respected by his peers,
Yeah, I
which
agree with
is
that.
something to say.
Until you're to be loved, and you're like, dude, no.
But I mean, like, there's a band that launched their own sound. You know?
Yeah, no, they actually did sound different, and that's that at that time frame. Holy cow! Because a lot of so I don't know if you'll agree with me on this, but there was a time frame where just every band in rock kind of started meshing together.
A little bit, yeah.
Like there are time
Certain
frames I'm like,
bands.
I can't tell who you are. I can tell you one band I didn't, and this is probably one of my all-time favorite. This album will always be one of my all-time favorites.
Okay.
Already been hated on once.
Uh-oh.
I'm probably gonna. I don't know. You might not hate on me for this, but it is the very first album. I think it's just self-titled, Wolf Mother.
So my brother really liked them a lot. I never really got into them.
I love Joker and the Thief. Like I don't know, like that song to me just describes like rock at that time frame. Like yes,
But weren't they more like
no,
Zeppelin-ish?
no,
No?
Like, it's fun that I'm actually looking up genres as well now, because this is never something. But neo psychedelia is one of the genres they're listed under. So hey,
Oh boy.
but so is heavy metal, hard rock, and stoner rock. By the way, if you can't tell how I listen to music in the early 2000s.
Yeah, I was never into stoner rock.
Wolf Mother, though, that album from top to bottom is really good. Their first album, I haven't really listened to anything else of theirs, though.
It's always the first albums that get you.
Yeah, like Evanescence, like that's a great first album. Wolf Mother is a great first album. I don't want to hear anything else of you. Like at this point, like it's going to be such a letdown, and I know it.
Sometimes they don't disappoint you with the sophomore album. Sometimes.
Yeah, and that's rare.
Another band from the 2000s hard rock genre that changed the game was Avenged Sevenfold.
Yeah, I agree with that.
2003, Waking the Fallen, which had Unholy Confessions. And then 2005, City of Evil, which had Backcountry and Seize the Day. 2007, self-titled, was the big one with a Scream, Afterlife, Almost Easy. I mean, these guys just came out of nowhere, I feel like, and they had a totally different sound, so unique. They had a lot of speed guitar, and it was kind of like a combination of like rock, metal, and thrash.
Yep.
It's just the way they kind of melded it all together was just really cool. Yeah, it's just, again, like one of those bands who, as soon as they come on the radio, like you instantly know them. Like you don't have to stop and wonder, like, hey, who is this?
Thank God. Like I don't know what else to say. Like I do enjoy them though.
Yeah.
Oh God.
I think though they are one of those bands that have fallen into that trap where they've since kind of lost their mojo a little bit.
Yeah, no, a lot of these bands have, I feel, at this point.
Yeah.
And it's sad because a lot of them, with like the exception of maybe like 6, a lot of them are really good, or they were really good.
Yeah.
I mean, are we just talking bands and albums at this point? Is that the whole deal here? Because can I bring up Toxicity from System of a Down? Because that's 2001.
You can, yes.
That album is fantastic.
I mean, so I don't like System of a Down anymore. I'm not a fan of Serge and his onstage antics. I'm not going to bring politics into this, but I saw him at Ozfest one year years ago.
I need a story after.
Went all anti-American, and I just completely like turned me off of them.
Wait, what?
Ever since. Oh yeah, I haven't listened to them since.
I've got to hear about this.
Before that, I loved Toxicity. Toxicity was a great album.
Yeah, no, that album is really good. Like, I mean, again, another band that you could honestly hear it and go, "Oh, they're completely like you know who it is when they start."
Yes, exactly.
Because now I'm looking this up. Like, continue on. Like, now I have to look up. Going, what did you do?
Yeah, it was at an Ozfest in Illinois. Disturbed is a band who changed hard rock in the 2000s. There's no doubt about that. The Sickness came out in 2000, and then 2002 was Believe, 2005, 10,000 Fists. And I think those are the 3 albums that really did it for them. Obviously, they have a whole bunch more. But, I mean, they kind of invented industrial metal, industrial rock, whatever you want to call it. but they have such a signature sound. You know, David Draymond's that wah. I don't do it well at all. Rich can do it better for you.
Oh, let me just tell you this now. That's gonna be a soundbite.
Don't you dare.
You'll be listening to live, and it'll just cut into you going ooh ah ah ah.
Guys, look, I'm not good at impersonations. Okay, I never claimed to be.
That's great.
But yeah, I mean, and they created a family of fans, and they still pack arenas. Like I told you guys, I just saw them in March, I think. And I mean, they're just as good as they were, 10 years ago.
I have not seen them in concert in a long time.
You should. I think you would enjoy them now.
I did enjoy them then. I don't know how to put that now.
They're still excellent. I wouldn't say that if I didn't truly believe it.
I'm just gonna name a band and just say their entire catalog.
Oh boy.
No.
Ooh, I can't wait to hear who this is.
No, because I believe that they are amazing and very underrated, and that's a personal thing. But again, that this could go into. By the way, they're classified as alt rock, and if you heard them, you're like, really? Coheed and Cambria.
See, I think of them as prog rock, and definitely not hard rock.
That's what I'm saying. Like, there's no like, it really does depend on the person. I really do believe that. But no, their entire
There's totally a difference, but okay.
I know people will agree with me, and I'm okay with this. Their entire catalog is fantastic because, one, if you're a fan of comics, their entire catalog of albums has comic books to go with them.
Okay.
So each album is actually a comic book story that they tell on, the lead singer, Claudio Sanchez, actually is a comic book writer and is artist as well. And he does, every album has its own comic. And you have no idea how much, I love that. The nerd in me is just like, yes, yes.
I remember whatever album it was they came out with when I was in college. It had the real popular radio songs on it.
It's going to probably Good Apollo, I'm Burning. Star 4.
If I heard the name of the song, I would know it.
My mind just blanked. Of course it would.
Something about, I don't want to say maybe Red or something like that.
I was going to say it's either Welcome Home or Blood Red Summer.
Blood Red Summer.
Okay.
That's what it was. My friends at my college radio station, they were obsessed with it, and so they kind of got me into it. And I did see them live once. I think it was like House of Blues, maybe, or the Aragon Ballroom, both venues in Chicago.
They're tremendous live. I think so.
They're good. I mean, they're good live. I'm not huge on their music because, again, when I hear that, when I hear them, I think of Rush, and I'm not a big fan of Rush either.
I think Rush is one of those bands you either love or you hate. I don't know anybody who's in the middle.
But I just don't really care for them.
I just never found anybody who's like, I'm indifferent to Rush.
Yeah, I'm like kind of indifferent. Like, I don't hate them, but I don't love them, you know?
They're just in that. Yeah, they're a great band. I like one of their songs. In fact, I enjoy a cover of one of their songs better than I do their own songs. So
interesting.
Yeah.
Another band so this is one of my favorite hard rock bands, and I think that they really made a difference in the 2000s. Breaking Benjamin.
See, I'm indifferent towards them. I just feel they're the same. Yeah, I feel like they're one of those bands that kind of just sounds the same.
I don't think so. So Saturate came out in 2002. That was their first album. That was a fantastic album all the way through. And then 2004 came and they released We Are Not Alone. 2006, Phobia, and that was a huge album for them, especially radio-wise. But even We Are Not Alone had some great radio hits. So I think what Breaking Benjamin did was they brought more of a melodic sound to hard rock, but it was perfect for people who don't like a lot of screaming, you know? And honestly, I think Ben Burley is probably one of the best voices in the genre.
I've got nothing on this one.
Yeah, I mean, I absolutely love Breaking Benjamin. I think they're awesome. I wasn't crazy about the last two albums, but prior to that, I mean, I really love Breaking Benjamin. And they're great live too.
No, I'll agree with you on that. They are fantastic live. Oh geez. I'm trying to think now of rock albums because it's been a while. Because some of these some of these albums, I'm just like,
it's funny because that references one of my
oh,
bands.
Stained.
Yes.
We'll just talk about that since I'm trying to. Since
you want to talk about that?
Yeah, let's just go ahead and talk about that since I'm trying to figure out a band here.
Okay. So 1999, Dysfunction came out, and then 2001, Break the Cycle. 2003, 14 Shades of Grey. 2005, Chapter 5. 2008, The Illusion of Progress. Guys, all these albums were great. Seriously, think about some of the hits they had. I mean, Mud Shovel was off of Dysfunction. Break the Cycle had, oh God, I'd have to look that up. Give me a moment.
I am really like, this might be the most heated argument we've had on shows.
I think it is. Let's see. Break the Cycle had Fade. It's been a while. Epiphany, For You, and Outside. I mean, that's a big album. And then 14 Shades of Grey had Price to Play, So Far Away, Zoe Jane, Falling Down. That's all I really recognize off of that. And then Chapter 5 was Right Here, which is a great song. I think Falling was a big one. I think that might have been it off that one. Illusion of Progress is probably my favorite album by them. A lot of people think that it was too pop for them, but I personally love it. I think it's a great balance between what like his voice can do and still staying like hard rock. All the way through that album is just fantastic. And Tangled Up in You, guys, if you haven't heard this song yet by Stained, go listen to it, please. This is one of the prettiest, most vulnerable songs I've ever heard, like you'll ever hear. It's such an amazing song. And he actually put it on one of his country albums later. I think it's a complete acoustic version, and it's, I mean, this, as if you thought the song couldn't get any better, listen to the acoustic version. But yeah, I mean, I love Stained. I always have. Again, they're a great band to see live. And again, I think Aaron Lewis is one of those people that he's got one of the best voices in rock music. His voice is very distinct. You know it as soon as you hear it, and he's an excellent storyteller.
No, I can't argue that. I actually like the I was like, well, this one I agree with. Well, shoot, I don't know what to do now.
I know people have mixed emotions about Stained and Aaron Lewis, but
music. I mean, okay, so
I love them.
Is it because of him personally, like things he's done personally, or is it just like?
Well, I think it started as I think it started as him personally because of some of the things that he says, and then it kind of seeped into, in general, just Stained. But you got some people who are like, oh, who is this guy? I've never even heard of him. Oh, he's obviously not making music. He is making music. Like, don't be ignorant, guys, okay? Like, you know who Aaron Lewis is. Don't try and act cool or tough.
I'll be honest with you. If it wasn't for the fact that he had somewhat of a solo career and you would have said his name, I would have been like, who? Like, I'm not even trying to be a jerk.
Like, guys know I don't know.
Okay, hold on. No, I agree with you. But had he not done any sort of solo career, saying the lead singer of a band, it's really hard sometimes to go, who?
Right, and I'll agree with you for the most part. That can be true. However, but Stained was always one of those bands where you knew the lead singer.
I didn't until he had.
You knew Aaron Lewis.
I didn't. I'm not gonna lie to you. I didn't until he had a solo career. I didn't know his name. I'm probably more a casual music fan than anything.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'll just listen to a song.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, yeah. If you're a casual fan, obviously, like, I get that, like, not knowing, like,
I just read his quote about country music. Holy crap.
Which one?
The Sam Hunt one?
Oh, that was from, like, I think last year or the year before.
That's great.
When he talks about Sam Hunt, Dan and Shay, and Luke Bryan.
Right, yeah, no, that's great. Yeah. I have not seen that.
Oh, that was a whole big thing. Are you kidding me? Yeah, Bobby Bones talked about it on his show. I mean, it was a whole
I live in the middle of
nowhere. It still comes up to this day. It's caused this whole argument.
Just letting you know, I live in the middle of nowhere. I have no idea who Bobby Bones was until he was on Dancing with the Stars. I'm not lying.
He's from Arkansas.
That doesn't mean we get the show.
No. He's in Nashville now, but he grew up in Arkansas.
I didn't.
Oh.
You got to remember, I didn't.
Oh, my bad. I forget that I know you're there now, but I don't know why
Yeah,
I felt like.
No, I grew up in Missouri. Like I had never heard half of the people right now, and I'm like, who? He won Dancing with who won Dancing with who? Like,
that was a big thing.
No, I know it was, and I'm like, I still don't know who he is, other than he's a DJ. That's it.
Oh, he's a huge DJ.
Again, who we have nowhere around here. By the way, we cannot listen to him around here. Like I think the closest.
I'm surprised because a lot of smaller towns pick him up.
They're big around here with the other the. I'm gonna say something terrible. Who is the other Bob and Tom? That's who they're big around here with.
I have no idea who Bob and Tom are.
Yeah, no, that sums it up right there because they're. I'm not.
What was I gonna say? Bobby Bones does the iHeartRadio morning country show.
Do you think I listen to
nationally
iHeartRadio?
Syndicated.
Hold on, do you think I listen to iHeartRadio anything? No.
Don't say that. We want them to pick up our podcast.
Oh, I can say whatever I want about them. That's fine. Like, it's whatever. But like, oh, gee, which I did submit, by the way. I hadn't even told you that.
Oh, awesome.
So I think my next one again is gonna get me like, what? They're listed under hard rock on here though, so I'm okay.
Okay.
They're listed under hard rock and Apple. Does that count?
Maybe. Sometimes Apple gets it wrong.
Well, of course, but I'm still thinking about putting up a poll on the website: is Old Town Road country or not? Like, I just want to know. Like, I want to see everyone. I just want to see fights. Like, I want to see fights.
So violent.
I want to see fights and my ad revenue go up. That's what I want. Clickbait, baby.
Who is this band that you have?
The Darkness.
Oh.
I love their first album. Not their first one.
Funny story. So my roommate, the one who's the huge, Real Big Fish fan, my college roommate sophomore year, who's I went to high school with as well, my friend Sam, that year that album came out, I was the same year that we were roommates. And
2003, by the way, for anybody who wants to know. Permission to land.
Were we still roommates at the time, or was this freshman year when it came out? I think it was freshman year because I graduated high school in 2003. But we spent a lot of time together, and she was dating a guy at the time.
Don't tell me dress
her
like him.
ringtone for him was, I believe, in a thing called Love.
Yeah,
she'd always sing it, and it was just the most annoying song in the world.
Oh, it like, again, this is one of those bands you either love them or you hate them, but I will tell you now, that's not even one of my favorite songs by them. One of my favorite songs is on their second album, and it's called Hazel Eyes. They take an Irish poem and turn it into a rock song, and it's
interesting,
fantastic.
Yeah, see, they're another one who I kind of thought more of like either like prog rock or like alt rock. They're definitely not hard rock.
They're listed as hard rock, glam metal, and heavy metal. Again, I don't understand.
Oh boy.
I don't know who comes up with these, but I'm like, sometimes I'll be okay. Glam metal, 100% with.
Apple Music needs to hire me. I'm telling you. That's all I'm saying.
But I do enjoy their first. I do enjoy that first album. The videos for that album completely weird, but I do enjoy that album a lot. And by the way, if you couldn't tell, I smoked weed at this time.
Oh boy. So another band who I think obviously changed hard rock.
Don't say
metal.
Nickelback.
No, why would I say Nickelback?
Because that's my neck. No, I'm kidding.
I believe you. If that was your next one.
No.
Five Finger Death Punch. I love these guys. Ivan Moody is such a great frontman, and I love what he does. Like when he, if he sees a kid in the audience rocking out, like a little kid, like young kid, like he brings him up on stage. Boy or girl, it doesn't matter. I think it's just awesome, and he's not afraid to stand up for what he believes. And his band, they're always doing stuff for policemen, firemen, our military. I mean, just always like their last song that it was a collaboration with Brantley Gilbert and Brian May from Queen and Kenny Wayne Shepherd, Blue on Black. I mean, all the proceeds from that went towards the Gary Sinise Foundation to help our men and women in uniform, first responders. And I don't know, I love bands that do all that, and they're a big part of that. And so 2007, their album The Way of the Fist came out. 2009, War is the Answer.
See, I didn't get introduced to. I didn't get introduced to them until 2009.
Yeah, so War is the Answer was a big album, and then 2013, The Wrong Side of Heaven and The Righteous Side of Hell. So there were some big songs on there, and they were a perfect example of being able to balance rock and metal while still being melodic. Because I think it was Far From Home and Wrong Side of Heaven, and there was another one. But yeah, I mean, they have a great sound. And then 2015, Got Your Six was when it picked up a little, got heavier. One of the songs that I really like on that album is Jekyll and Hyde.
That's a good one. They're much better now than they were when I found out about them. In my opinion, I think they've just gotten better, which is weird to say because that usually does not happen in rock.
Yeah, but I really like the War is the Answer album from 2009, and that's the one where they did a cover of
Bad Company. That's how I'm pretty much sure like that's how 90% of fans got introduced to them.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, I think they've got a great sound. I definitely think that it's a unique sound. I think their sound changed again. They changed the genre up when they came along, and I really like Ivan Moody as a frontman.
I can't argue again. Like this one I actually enjoy. So woohoo!
I told you, my list was top notch.
I mean, we can debate that all day long, but am I gonna be how? I don't know. I'm trying to decide if I want it. Like, there's a band I really enjoy, but I don't know if they belong on this list or not. Like, I'm actually arguing it in my head because I'm like, I really like their music and I find myself singing it a lot. Mm-hmm. But I'm pretty sure that they don't. Well, I don't know. I got to look up before we have this fight again. Because I don't know what genre they're in because they're different. I listen to a lot of weird stuff. If anybody is not okay, so they're listed as punk. I can't use them. Cool. For anybody out there who really wanted to know, it's Dropkick Murphys.
Oh yeah, no, they're definitely punk. Like, but they do a lot of tours with like
rock bands. Yeah, I know.
Harder bands. Yeah. Like they're on tour with Hatebreed and Clutch, I think.
Yeah.
Weird.
I love them though. God, they're great.
Yeah, no, Dropkick Murphys is a great band, but they're not hard rock.
Okay, let's just talk about Hailstorm. Screw it.
Yes. Hailstorm was on my list as well.
I personally believe that the 2009 album, and I can't think of the name of it, which might
2010 self-titled.
No, actually, I think it came out in 2009.
No, I just checked it today. It was 2010.
I'm looking that up. Yeah, no, I didn't know it was self-titled. That tells you anything. It's probably one of the best albums in rock history, and it's probably one of those most underrated albums too, because a lot of people forget that album.
Yeah, it definitely is. It was a fantastic debut. I thought it really showed off all of her influences because she's very open about saying how she's influenced by like bands like Rob Halford and Skid Row and all those bands, like those heavy metal bands from the 80s.
April 28, 2009.
Oh, maybe I was looking at the deluxe version.
That's probably true.
But then, when you hear her sing, I mean, she's totally reminds you of the greats like Pat Benatar and Joan Jett and Lita Ford.
Yes.
I mean, she's got a set of vocals on her that it's like, holy crap, man. I'm telling you, the first time I saw her live when they opened for Shinedown a couple summers ago, it was insane. Like, one of the best performances I've ever seen.
I got to see them on tour with Papa Roach. Like, that was weird. Like, I'm like, who? Because I had no idea who Hailstorm was at the time. And I went, okay, so I'm going to, because I always like going to see the openers.
Yeah.
That's what sells me on a show. It's like, if it's bands I've never heard of, I'm in more than seeing bands that I've heard. And that is right after this one came out. And I went, I'm sold. You've got me.
She plays and sings her ass off. And you know what? All the albums that they have not released a bad album.
Agreed.
I really like. I've loved every album that they released, and they just, in my opinion, they just keep getting better. One song that is really underrated, and it's on the second album. I forget the name of the album. That's like It's All Black. Daughters of Darkness. I love that song.
Great song.
Love it. It's so underrated. Yeah. Oh God, I love me some Lizzie Hale though.
Hey, look,
she's such a badass.
We agreed.
We usually agree.
This
It's
one
just when you
has.
go off on these like weird tangents that we
These
do.
have not. This has been that episode where it's like, nope, the agreements are not happening. Apparently.
My next band is Godsmack.
Oh, I don't. Oh God, I forgot about Godsmack.
I love
Oh,
them. So their first album, self-titled, came out in 1998. But then 2002 was Good Times, Bad Times.
I think I like that album
Uh,
more, honestly, if
but
I remember
oh,
correctly.
and then there was an album in between that, 2000's Awake,
Oh
and
God,
that was
let
a
the
big
bodies hit
album,
the floor.
obviously.
That's Let the Bodies Hit the Floor album, isn't it?
Huh?
That's the album with Let the Bodies Hit the Floor.
You're thinking of Drowning Pool.
Same thing.
No. Oh, you send your hate mail too.
Oh yeah, no, that's the one that's got crap Voodoo. Oh jeez, my mind.
No,
That's
Voodoo
the
was the self-titled album that came
yeah.
out in
No,
1998.
they're like that's what I was trying. If this tells you I get those two bands confused, it happens a
I
lot.
don't know how.
I could tell you, but we'd be here all day.
Oh man, they're two totally different, like distinct sounds.
Okay.
They are. My listeners will back me up.
We'll put that one to a poll. Like, do they sound the
Yes.
same? Yeah,
Yes.
no. Like, oh, jeez.
But I love Sully Erna as a vocalist. I think he's got a great voice for rock, and especially on this new album, When Legends Rise. It really shows off his melodic side, and I'm sure some people thought like maybe he like sold out a little bit, like it's more like arena rock. I loved it. I thought it was a great hard rock album. It was heavy, but yet not too heavy. Like I said, like still like melodic enough. I think he did really like the band did a great job with the new album.
I'm trying to think now. I liked 4. No, I really liked 4. I thought 4 was a good album too.
Okay.
I'm gonna take the first one out of the equation because you said 2000s. Because that first album is really good.
Yeah. That was the one with Voodoo, I think, on it.
Yeah, no, it is. Yeah.
Okay.
And it's such a wonderful song. Like I remember listening to that song constantly.
Yeah. I think Awake, so that was 2000, but that song, I believe that was the one that was in the Scorpion King movie with The Rock.
Yeah, I wouldn't doubt. Yeah, probably. I'm trying to. I know. Here's the thing. Okay, so I'm going to tell you how I got introduced to a lot of these bands was through pro wrestling because they use their songs constantly, like Godsmack and Drowning Pool. And I'm going to tell you that possibly could be why they all start blending for me because they use like a different band every show.
Yeah.
So once you start hearing everything, you're just like, what band is this now? Like,
but so speaking of Drowning Pool, like there's a band who had a great debut album.
And then what happened?
And then who was the lead singer died?
See, I thought that was this tells you everything. I thought that was Godsmack.
No,
I seriously did. I was like, oh,
you're disappointing me.
I haven't had sleep. Cut me some slack.
Yeah, no, it was really sad. The lead singer. So we had just seen them at Ozfest that year, that when their debut album broke big, and that was the album that had
Center.
Let the Bodies Hit the Floor.
Center's a great album.
And yeah, it was not long after that when their lead singer died. I think he was on his tour bus when he died.
Yeah, that broke my heart because I was like, what? Because they were so good.
We had just seen them.
They were so good.
Yeah, it was really sad. And they've replaced the singer quite a few times now, I think. And at this point, I mean, I don't even know if they're still a band.
They have a new album coming out this year.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's something to look forward to. I'm curious to know who's singing for them, though.
I'm looking. Jason Moreno? Yeah. Let's do it. That's who they say.
Not sure if I recognize that name.
I'm looking him up.
But yeah, that was such a good album, though, that first one. And people still, like, when they hear, people still karaoke to that song, like Let the Bodies Hit the Floor.
Oh, God, yes. 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 On a regular. Oh, my goodness. Because anytime you can just yell. And that probably is one of those songs that I'm like, yeah, I probably shouldn't enjoy this, but I do. Right. So, yeah. I enjoyed that. I enjoyed both of those bands, by the way, for everybody. Just calm down.
Oh, I love giving you shit, though.
That's fun time. No, and I think vice versa, because again, if you have somebody shoot because nope, I am gonna do this then. Nope. I need discography. Well, there we go. Jeez. Well, I guess it's gonna work for me because screw it. He's in a movie that we just watched, and it was
Oh
2000.
boy.
I don't know what this says about me or who I was at this time frame in life, but again, he's listed under hard rock, so I'm running with it. Also listed under industrial metal, so I don't know how that works, but whatevs.
Okay.
Marilyn Manson.
Okay, I'll give you that one. I think he's a little bit more metal, but he's also like in his own.
He does his own thing.
Category.
Yeah. Hey, it's like rock, Manson, whatever you want to put it.
Yeah, but I mean, his cover of "Sweet Dreams" was great. I love his cover of "Tainted Love."
Oh my gosh. Beautiful People is still probably
Beautiful People
is actually one of my ringtones. So
I remember hearing that when it came out in was it House on Haunted Hill?
Yeah, I think it was one of those. Yeah, which I think is from the '90s, but still so good.
It was. Yeah, those songs were really great.
The Dope Show, like
I remember the Dope Show.
Guess what I'm going back and listening to after this show? I'm listening to Marilyn Manson, which is crazy to think about. Holy cow! Like I enjoy. I don't know why. Because I remember all the controversy, like every bad thing that happened. It's Marilyn Manson's fault.
Yeah, I think I talked about that too at one of the earlier episodes of the podcast.
I don't get it. I don't. It's like blaming video games too. Like I always hated that.
Right.
Is it like the music? You're gonna get it somehow. So.
Yeah, I agree. So in the same realm as Marilyn Manson, I'm going to throw a band out there that I actually almost forgot about that I haven't listened to in quite a while. Dope.
Oh geez. So I have a fun story about them.
Oh boy.
No, I don't. I've never met them. I've never seen them live. But here's honest to God what happened. So we put together a Comic-Con here in town, and we had the lead singer, like the former lead singer of the '90s version of the Misfits.
Okay.
And so later on, the same guy who's doing it's like, how would you feel about me booking Dope for the next comic convention? And I went, are you smoking it? Like, I mean, don't get me wrong, I like them, but are you smoking it as well? That's my Dope story.
So yeah, my brother was really big into them, and I went with him to see them at House of Blues, I think it was once. And I mean, they're good. They were good live. I remember. So my brother and my dad and I are really big into the Fast and the Furious movies. And when the first one came out, there was this one song in the movie. It was the only rock song in the movie, and my dad couldn't find it on the soundtrack. And he's like, "Who is this? I need to know who it was." Turned out it was Dope, Debonair. Great song. And their cover of "You Spin Me Around" is great. What else? And of course they have "Die Mother Effer Die."
Yeah.
And then they had a whole bunch. I mean, there's a whole bunch more, but yeah, they were a different kind of band, and they were pretty good. "Now or Never" was a really great song.
They're different. They're definitely different. Yeah, not Comic-Con different, but they're different. Like they're not terrible. Like I enjoy them. It's been a long time since I've listened to them, though. They can't be doing anything at this point, can they?
I don't think so. They're definitely not a band you want to listen to with your kids in your car. I'll put it like that. I think the last full album that they came out with that was new stuff was 2016's Blood Money.
Holy crap.
Yeah, I don't recognize any of the songs on there.
Oh, great. Like that was, wait a minute.
I know. But yeah, you brought up Marilyn Manson. It made me think of Dope.
Yeah, no, I mean, I guess it's any way you can get around to hitting certain bands at a certain time frame. Oh, geez. There's so many good ones.
Mm-hmm.
And so many bands that no one's heard of, too.
Yeah.
They're
No, I
like,
didn't have time to go through everything.
yeah, no, because I have a band that was local to. Oh God, no, I'm not bringing them up. But I had a band who was local to Kansas City called The Sound and the Fury, and they're fantastic. If you look them up, they know. I don't think they're a band anymore, but they are fantastic.
Okay.
Boy. Yeah, I knew I'd eventually hit the wall on this. Like I was like, oh, I went through all the bands I smoked to. Well, crap. Like, I mean, honestly, I mean, Tool's probably going to be in a conversation about 2000 bands. They're not one of my favorites, but
I would agree that they definitely changed things up. Their sound is very much their own.
Yeah, no, it is.
I was never a Tool fan or a Perfect Circle fan, but
yeah, I was gonna say a Perfect Circle's in every list that I looked up when doing this. Like, oh,
yeah, I definitely see how they changed things though.
Hey, oh, geez, there's so many. Oh my gosh,
you're forgetting one very big one.
Nickelback.
That we talked about multiple times.
Well, I didn't want to.
The podcast.
So I feel like besides Shinedown, because
so we can talk about Shinedown. Shinedown is
on both of our lists.
Hard rock, yeah. I love Shinedown. They have such and one of these days on the podcast we're going to dig into their catalog because they've got so many great songs. But Brent Smith is just, his voice is so unique.
Yeah, the first time I heard them, I didn't like them at all, and then I just kind of went, "What is wrong with me?" And then I just became the biggest Shinedown fan. Like, what? Mm-hmm. How does this happen?
Yeah, and they're really good live too.
Oh yeah, no. If you get a chance to see them, you should.
Yeah, he's another one who just runs around the whole stage, and it's just, I mean, he's such a performer.
I 100% believe in if you're going to do shows to be on the stage and like make it a fun experience for the fans.
Yeah.
Because if you don't, I automatically don't like you. Like I will never go back to see one of your shows again. I'm harsh when it comes to that. Like as a person who's buying a ticket, I really want the performer to interact with us, not in the way of like coming out in the crowd and being that way, but like, which is cool. But I mean, like, at least talking to the crowd makes me happy.
Yeah.
Where if you just go through your set and don't acknowledge where you're at, the people who bought tickets to see you or anything, you're kind of a wanker. I've been watching a lot of British television. Leave me alone.
No, I can completely 100% agree with that.
All right.
You know, your fans bought tickets to see you, like they spent their hard-earned money. Acknowledge them, talk to them.
Yeah, because I mean, like, we're there. We're not going anywhere. We came to see you.
Right, exactly.
Oh, all right.
Another huge band that had changed hard rock in the 2000s, and we've talked about this before, Linkin Park.
Well, yeah, I figured that was your number one, honestly. Like, that was like the end of your list.
Oh, well, no, I'm not at the end of my list yet. But
no, I seriously thought, like, I'm like, okay, so holding off on Shinedown, Linkin Park, and Seether. Okay, so here's what
I almost forgot about Seether.
Like, here's what we're doing at this point. Holding off on those, and I may or may not talk about Skillet.
Oh, we could talk about Skillet a little bit. But Linkin Park, I mean, look, 2000s Hybrid Theory, 2003 Meteora, great album. 2007 Minutes to Midnight. And then after that is when it started to go downhill. But man, did those first three albums kick ass.
By the way, they're listed under alt rock.
They're hard rock. I'm sorry.
Oh, what was this? What was this argument here? What?
They are hard rock. I don't care what anybody says. There's no way you can categorize Linkin Park as alt rock.
They're also
slower songs. The couple of slower songs that they have, sure, but not the rest.
I put them under new.
Catalog.
I always put them under new metal because they always had the rap sound into it, and that's what. Yeah. I mean, because look, if Kid Rock makes any of your list, you're wrong.
No.
Like I like Kid Rock, but you're wrong.
But no, Mike Shinoda and Chester Bennington, they're one hell of a vocal team. They really were. And it's so sad that we don't get any more music from the two of them.
It's so weird like how they were able to just gel.
I know.
Like the two genres that should never be gel. And only I think before that, maybe a couple of times did it work.
Yeah.
Because I mean, outside Aerosmith and Run DMC, but you can't really count the 80s. Like that rap rock genre never went well together. And then all of a sudden, here's Linkin Park, who just kind of went.
Yeah, they really did it. Like they figured out the right formula and they just ran with it, and it blew up. It was just phenomenal. Their sound literally changed the genre. It brought more melody to hard rock. It created this new subgenre. It ultimately brought the genre further into the mainstream, which some people hate them for that. Some people love them for it. I personally think it was a good thing.
Can we just make this statement? I know you're not the biggest rap fan, but let's just make this statement. Of all the collaborations between rock and rap artists, the Jay-Z Linkin Park one is the greatest one.
Yeah, it really was. And that video was great too.
Numb and Encore is the greatest one ever, and it will always be the greatest one. Sorry.
Yeah, definitely. We always would blast that song from our dorm room in college when it came out.
They did another one with there's another one they did with Jay-Z, but it's really hard to find. But they do 99 Problems.
Okay, I think there was actually a couple. Didn't they do like an EP?
Yeah, and the 99 Problems one I actually like more than Numb and Encore. So
really?
Yeah, but it's like one of those that like no one heard. Like it,
wow.
Because I kind of look when you were downloading music from LimeWire back in the day, and I'll admit it, I don't care. When you're downloading music from LimeWire, half the time you never know what you're gonna get.
Yeah,
and that was one of the ones I got, and I was like, oh, I kind of dig this. Okay.
Yeah, Linkin Park was just, God, they deserve one of these days. Like they deserve to be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
I agree. I don't see an argument there.
Yeah.
Will they? Yeah, probably.
I hope so.
It might take a little bit of time, but.
And on one of our future episodes, we are going to dig deep into what's right and wrong with the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Yeah, no, we've had a lot. I got messages on the website about that one. Like,
really?
Yeah, no, they're like, we want to hear more. Oh, do you? I'll be in the same mood for that episode. Like, I'll just be full of this, whatever this is.
That's great though. Like, I'm glad people are, leaving comments. I wish people would leave comments everywhere, like the Facebook page, Instagram, Twitter.
Did you know they're actually possibly looking for a new lead singer?
Oh, Linkin Park?
Yeah.
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I just saw the news story from iHeart.com.
Oh, wow. Oh, that's a tough one.
I mean, if you're gonna continue music, I guess, but oh boy,
those are some tough shoes to fill.
Understatement. Are we doing next is Seether?
Yeah, we can do Seether.
Let's do Seether.
They're another band with a great catalog.
Again, like I have found. Okay, so at least there's always one song off every album. I'm like, I enjoy that.
Yeah.
Oh geez, is it Josie Scott? Is that?
I forget his name.
Yeah,
the one who dated Amy Lee.
Yeah.
Yeah, I forget his name. To be honest with you. Check.
I'll say it. I had a major crush on Amy Lee. I'm just going with that.
He's got a really cool voice.
He does, and he sound like their song when he does "Broken" by himself. Holy crap!
I know. I told you I saw him do it at I think it was like House of Blues right after like they broke up, and it was heartbreaking, but so good.
Oh, so yeah, no, I completely agree with that. Like just hearing that one is just unreal.
Yeah. I Fine Again was a big song.
Sean Morgan is his name. Good grief.
Sean Morgan, yes, that sounds right. What were some other ones I loved by them? What was the one? Something about a 45, or was that Shinedown?
Oh,
I think that might have been Shinedown.
Hold on a second. How did I forget them? I will come back to this. Yeah, no, I realized when I said Josie Scott, who I had not talked about.
Okay.
Saliva.
Oh, see, I wasn't a huge Saliva person.
Again, it was one of those bands where I'm like, hey, I know your catalog. I don't know why I know your catalog, but I know your catalog.
Yeah.
And I enjoyed. Back to Seether.
Six Gun Quota was a good song. Country song's
Remedy, fantastic.
I loved Remedy.
Country song is fantastic.
Yeah.
That song is very underrated.
They've got so many good songs. I can't even think. I wasn't crazy about their last album, But up until that point, they had a good run.
I think Remedy's probably my all-time, like, for radio songs from them. Like, that's
for
probably
sure.
my favorite one. Or Fake It. Fake It's really good too.
Yeah.
I'm using the edited because it's not. Fake
It was a really good song.
Yeah, no, it was. Or Gasoline. I completely.
Oh yeah.
Which is on the same album as Broken.
Okay.
Forgot about Gasoline.
Yeah, they were really good. I almost forgot about Seether.
You know, Seether was going to be like around my end. I was like, oh yeah, we gotta talk about Seether.
Another band, Mudvayne.
Jeez.
You talk about a band who singer has one of the most unique voices in rock. Chad Gray. Oh my god. Like, so as far as albums go, I don't know because I wasn't like huge into Mudvayne, but there was like certain songs where like they were just really good. Happy was one of them. Not Falling, World So Cold, and Dig. But yeah, I think Mudvayne really like changed things up a lot.
Oh god, I'm gonna have to talk about another band. Crap. Like, it's like, oh, you can't talk about them. You have to talk about them at some point. All right. No, I don't know if I listened to a lot of Mudvayne, and if I did, I wouldn't know it.
You might know it if you heard it.
Right, but it's kind of one of those bands where I'm like, I never went out of my way to listen to, which probably I probably should at some point, but I regret not listening to some bands at this time frame. They might be one of them because I think at the time when I just got into rock, I was like, oh, I bet they just sound like Slipknot.
Oh no, they don't.
Because I was like,
I actually prefer Mudvayne over Slipknot. I mean, they're two different bands, but I prefer.
Right. I would be hard pressed if I didn't talk about Powerman 5000 at all.
Okay.
I enjoy every album of theirs.
Really?
Yeah.
I liked Bombshell, or was it Bombshell? What was it called? That song? When the bomb drops or something like that?
Is it? I know which one you're talking about. I used to listen
to it all the time.
I haven't listened to any of theirs in a long time. That's why I was like, oh yeah, I got to talk about that. But I have every album. I had every album. Let me rephrase that. I had every album.
There was an album by Static X that was really good.
Oh yeah, no, they got to fall in that category too. Like,
yeah.
Oh my god.
It was like this like green and black album.
I'm dumb.
That was pretty cool.
No, like, see, there's a few of those bands that kind of all sound like, again, not sounded the same, but kind of sounded the same. That came out. You know what? Damn it. There's a 2000. Did it come out in the 2000? I see now my mind is like clicking and I'm going, oh crap. It did? Are you kidding me? I'm done. What?
And sadly, Wayne Static is no longer with us either.
That sucks. I didn't know that.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It was like a year or two ago, I think. He's another one who committed suicide.
I'm gonna say someone else too that I have not talked about, but I'm also really disappointed in the newest trailer, and there's a write-up for the website coming up. Rob Zombie.
Oh yeah.
Rob
Zombie used to be really good.
I'm a huge Zombie fan. Like, I love his music. I really do. And then, like, I know he started doing the movies, and I know some of those are great. Some of those are not.
Not many of them.
Well, I mean, it really is. Like, I think I like now that after having that conversation the other day, I realized there's only 3 that I really, really like.
Yeah, I was listening to that episode today at work of you guys doing the horror movies, and dude, his version of Halloween.
I don't hate it, but it's not my favorite. It's not my favorite. Jeez.
So bad.
But now
I was listening to you guys talk about it. In my head, I'm thinking, like, the problem with his version of those movies is it was too much. Like, it was too over the top. It was too gory. It was too like. So there was this scene.
We're talking horror movies now.
I know, because you brought up Rob Zombie. But there's this scene in the first one, and towards the beginning of it, I think, where it's how he gets out of the mental hospital, and the janitors or the attendants or whatever, you know, they attack one of the female patients. Yeah, and I'm using that word loosely because I don't want to get vulgar on the podcast.
Yeah, no, I get what you're saying.
It was just very unnecessary in my opinion, and I felt like there was just no need for Rob Zombie to do that.
Yeah, no, it's what it. Yeah,
it had nothing to do with the storyline.
No, it didn't. But like, I didn't hate those movies, but I will say this: Rob Zombie is a movie person. I like House of a Thousand Corpses and The Devil's Rejects. I'm not now, after seeing the trailer today, I'm not excited for the new one. And I was. And
I think of his movies I've only seen Halloween and House of a Thousand Corpses. I don't think I saw Devil's Rejects.
You need to see Devil's Rejects just because I think that is his best movie. But, I mean, again, that's really not saying much in the grand scheme of things.
Yeah.
I will say this, though. His music catalog is fantastic.
Oh, yeah. I mean, again, he definitely changed things up.
No, and I Dragula is always going to be on things I listen to. Like, oh, my God. And there's a lot of Rob Zombie.
Really great sound.
Yeah.
Ooh, sorry guys. It's he had a really great sound though. Like Living Dead Girl and
Yep.
What were some of the other ones? It's been so long since I've listened to his music.
Anything, just his music's so weird too. It's so different.
Yeah, like his music sounds like the soundtrack to a horror movie.
And it should. And it should.
One of the bands that I love is 3 Days Grace.
I haven't talked about them or listened to them in forever.
But now so granted, like I recently saw 3 Days Grace open for Disturbed a few months ago, and that was the version that has now a new lead singer. It's the lead singer from My Darkest Days, another hard rock band, who are great, by the way. And they're awesome. They put on a great show. You know, they still do the songs from the older catalog. But my favorite version of 3 Days Grace is always going to be the one with Adam Gontier.
Yeah.
I loved his voice. I love that band. Their debut, I mean, you talk about a band who had a great debut album.
I thought they not only great debut, but a great follow-up.
Yeah, they really did. I mean, they were huge. Again, you know, they brought hard rock to the mainstream.
Because 1X
has
Animal I've Become, and I freaking love that song. And Riot.
Oh, no, wait, was Riot on the first one or the second one?
Second
one, yeah.
Oh, I haven't listened to that in forever. Holy crap.
Yeah, I love 3 Days Grace. And you know what? They were a band who, they were consistently good. I mean, look, some of their older albums were better, but they were consistently good. Like, they had at least a few songs off of each album that were really good.
Can I just say something really quick? Out of a lot of the bands we've listened to, like talked about, every single one of them almost has had new metal next to them.
Really?
Yeah. I don't know what that says. Like Chevelle is underneath. There's a band I haven't talked about in forever. Jeez.
Yeah, I never dug deep into their catalog.
Crossfade.
Oh.
I like the first album. That's about as far as that goes. Cold is a great song.
Who I heard on Octane, or not on Octane, on Turbo this morning? Tantric.
Oh my god. Okay, so that they are one of my all-time favorite bands ever.
What?
Yeah, no. A friend of mine got me hooked on them. And I think it's Tantric, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, a long time ago I probably shouldn't have looked up Tantric in Google. Not going to say what just popped up on me.
Oh, no.
All right, Tantrics. Yeah, that's not what I want. Okay, yeah. No, Tantric. I love Tantric. I just blew your mind a little bit on that one, didn't I?
Yeah, a little bit.
First album I had of Tantric was the second.
How many albums did they have?
6. I think it's the second.
Wow.
Nope. It probably was the third one. I had one of theirs. It probably was the first one, honestly.
Huh.
I enjoyed them. Yep, it was the first one.
So they're a band who I would probably consider more like alt rock than hard rock. And there's another band who I love, but I didn't put them on this list because I thought they were more alternative rock than hard rock. But since you brought up Tantric, I'm going to talk about Fuel.
Yeah, no, I honestly, maybe other than the one radio song, have you? Okay, so this falls into this category. Have you ever heard Sugar Ray's first album?
Is it the one with Fly?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, not in a long time, but
but
I'm
here's
familiar.
Fly, who's this like pop song, like 100%. Like, you can't deny that's a pop song.
Right.
And then everything else is metal. And you're like, yeah, it's rock metal. Like, you're like, what? Wait, what?
Really?
Yeah, go back and listen to that. Because, like,
that's
Mark
weird.
McGrath screams in that album. It's the weirdest album you will ever listen to, and I don't know why that hit. I don't know why I'm comparing that to Fuel, but sure, let's keep that going.
No, I loved Fuel. You know, they had a couple like harder songs, not exactly hard rock, but harder. But overall, I would think that they're more of an alt rock band.
I did learn though a lot of our bands are nu metal. Like, I'm just letting you know that now.
That's crazy.
A lot.
Some of them I totally get, but not all of them.
Papa Roach is listed under nu metal.
Yeah, I believe that because they again had a little bit of that like rap rock kind of vibe to them.
Yeah, Linkin Park. I mean, it's really like at this point, Skillet's on here. Like, I'm going, Static X is on here. I'm going, okay, so this is pretty much this is pretty much everyone. Soil. There's a band I haven't heard in forever.
Oh, they had a great debut. Was it a debut album?
Throttle Junkies or Scars?
Maybe Scars. Let me see.
Because I think Throttle Junkies had the cover of Black Betty.
Okay, then it's got to be Scars, I think.
Because they had a good. Pride's probably my favorite Soil song for anybody who.
Let's see. God, I haven't heard them in so long. It was Scars because I loved Halo.
So can we just make this nu metal now, pretty much? Because that's what this is. Because Rob Zombie's under nu metal. Like, okay, I'm done here. Like, hey, Trapped. There's Trapped.
Now I'm going back and adding this freaking album.
Sugar Ray's on nu metal, by the way.
Oh God, that's not possible.
I'm telling you, listen to that first album. It's messed up. Like, just one time. Hey, Nonpoint. There's a band I haven't heard in a while. Holy crap.
Oh.
You know, I just looked up nu metal bands and went, oh, these are all the bands we've talked about. Oh, crap. With except 12 Stones is on nu metal as well. I don't Bring Me to Horizon.
Bring Me to Life. Or no, wait, what?
Bring Me the Horizon. Yeah.
Oh, Bring Me the Horizon?
Yeah.
Oh, they're more like, yeah, I guess they're kind of like hardcore, I guess.
That's what I'm saying. Like, Evanescence is on nu metal as well. Like, pretty much every band with Five Finger Death Punch, like every band we've discussed right now is nu metal. Oh God, I have not listened to Head PE in forever.
I don't think I really ever got into them.
They're fun. I don't remember much about them, but they're fun. I saw them live twice. Also want to say, is it Taproot?
Oh yeah.
The Dead
Forgot
Poem?
about Taproot.
The Dead Poem?
Yes.
Love Taproot.
Who else? So I know a lot. Like, I used to be friends with people who were like really into Audioslave.
Oh geez, I haven't heard them in forever either. Oh,
I was never really into them. I couldn't. It was Chris Cornell, right?
I think.
I was never a big fan of his voice.
I got to see him live at a taping of Jimmy Kimmel.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, because it was one of those.
Oh my God.
Had a concert.
Go ahead,
like,
sorry.
Okay. It was one of those episodes that had a concert, and I'm like, all right, sure.
You know who we totally forgot to mention?
Nickelback, of course.
Korn.
Yeah, we were getting there. We're getting there. I mean,
they were huge.
They're still
huge.
They
really changed things.
I think now they're mostly a cover band, but we're gonna. I love Korn, but they covered a lot of songs.
Yeah.
I really do, but I like a lot of their covers. But come on, guys, do some of your own stuff.
Yeah, Korn was great, man. I heard a song. I heard what was it? Here to Stay.
Oh, jeez. Yeah.
Who else was really good? God, but Korn had Freak on a Leash and Adidas and what is it? Falling Away From Me.
Yeah, that they're one of those bands.
Good songs.
They're one of those bands that just kind of like, okay, yeah. They did a whole album of covers as well. It's fantastic.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I knew. That's when I went. That. Yeah, I was like, okay, which I didn't expect to happen, but they did. There's so many. Good
I was never a big fan of Queens of the Stone Age.
That's kind of Is that the right one? Yeah, no, that is kind of blasphemy.
Really?
Yeah, I think it is.
I think they were more like alt rock or whatever, but yeah, I was never really big into them.
Wow. Okay, so I know is it I'm gonna get this wrong again. Like I think Queens of the Stone Age is no, that's not the band I'm thinking of. Maybe it is. Fudge, I don't remember.
I think they were like kind of like a super group.
Yep, nope, it is the same band. Yeah, no, I think not liking Queen. Like their first album's good. I thought their second album kind of like their follow up sucked. I thought the first album, maybe it's the second album. I don't know. One of their albums was really good, and then the second one was terrible. Or the next one right after was terrible, and I went, I'm kind of done. But I do love Dave Grohl, and I don't know, like, that's why I can't hate on Queens of the Stone Age.
Yeah, I definitely love Dave Grohl, obviously. It's just I don't know, the particular sound that they went for in that band was not my
Still
not my
making
cup of tea.
music, by the way.
What?
Still making music, by the way.
Really?
Yep.
That's crazy.
Songs for the Deaf is the only one Dave Grohl was on, and like Clockwork. So Songs for the Deaf must have been the album I really enjoyed. Yep, no one knows. There it is.
You know what I loved in the I think it was the 2000s was so Apocalyptica is typically like an instrumental band, but there was one album where they had special guest singers on a couple songs, and those songs were badass. So one was I Don't Care with Adam Gontier.
Yep.
And then one was with Brett Smith from Shinedown. And one was with Lacey Stern from Flyleaf. And one was with Gavin Rossdale from Bush.
There's a band I haven't heard in a while.
Yeah. They were really good. I think I'd consider them more I want to say alt rock, but I guess I could see where they would fall into like hard rock. But yeah, they had some good songs. Stone Sour is another good hard rock band.
Yeah, I agree with that. I got after I discovered Evanescence, I got into Nightwish as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I knew a guy who was really into Nightwish.
Like I went to see them about a year and a half ago live in person, and like, it's just the voice. Like it really is just the voice of the lead singer. Like I'm 100% there.
Yeah, I can understand that. You know who's not bad now? A newer band is Bad Wolves.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah. No, I like them a little bit. I'm getting into new rock band. Like here's the thing, I'm now just discovering new rock music, so it's because I don't know how to explain it. Like everybody's gonna be like, "Are you smoking weed again?" I know that question's coming, but I'm just getting into newer bands, and I just discovered them. So,
one of my favorite hard rock bands is Trapped.
Yeah.
But so typically, so this band I'm about to mention is more like they kind of border like punk rock / alt rock. But this particular album that I'm going to reference is that one kind of it kind of bordered alt rock and hard rock, and that was the hit song was "You're Gonna Go Far, Kid."
Oh,
I
crap.
think the album was like "The Rage and the Fire" or something like that. But that was a really good album from beginning to end.
I haven't heard that in a while.
That was a really good one. Pop Evil is another really new, not super new, but like relatively new, like hard rock band, and they're really good. They have some great melodies in their slower songs that are really good. But off of their last album, "Be Legendary" is a great song, and "Waking the Lions."
I'm probably gonna get. So oh god, I hated this band. Like I'm gonna say one that I enjoy now.
Okay.
Because I guess this counts as the 2000s. I mean, I guess you can't really. I hated this band when I first got introduced to them because I was like, they're just not my thing. I guess at that time I did not understand them. And then apparently I got older. Like this is 5 years ago.
Okay.
And which I mean they started in 2007, so I guess this kind of counts. And then I started listening to In This Moment and went, oh crap.
I think I have one song by them on one of my playlists.
I'd like to know which one it is at some point.
The song is called Horror.
Oh yeah, no, that's a great song.
I love that song.
The video is so good. So
I don't think I've
good.
seen the video yet.
So good. Like all of their music videos are so good. It ranks right up there with like, because like I told you, like I'm really big on music videos.
Yeah.
So their music videos are over the frickin' top.
Really? Oh yeah, I believe that.
And that's one of those that, yeah. So is, I can't believe I'm about to say this, so is Bitch Metal Barbie. That one
I
is,
have no idea who they are.
no, that's not, that's one of their songs.
Oh,
And
okay.
yeah, and it's fantastic.
You know who had a couple good hard rock songs? Well, rock, I guess, in the late '90s, early 2000s was Buck Cherry.
Jeez.
Now, obviously, their big hit was kind of offensive.
Are we saying,
when you really think about it?
do I need to say it? Because I think it's the song that, look, it's probably the #1 song in strip clubs.
Yes, exactly.
It's right up there with Cherry Pie. And for anybody who does not know, the song is Crazy Bitch. By the way, Lit Up's a really good song.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I think that's one. Well, there was one. Sorry was really good.
Oh, that wasn't
I think
bad.
everyone knows that one.
That one wasn't bad. Like they never went out of their way to listen to anything else, but they're not. That song was not bad. Like it's for me. If someone told me, which it's on my playlist, but I guess whatever. If someone told me they enjoyed Hinder, I kind of went, look.
I enjoyed them in the beginning, like their first album, but then like they're a band who like you enjoyed at the time, but then like when you go back and like try and do a list like this, you're like, okay, they weren't like that great.
Like I love Get Stoned, like out of all the songs there. But then Lips of an Angel comes out and I went, I can't listen to you anymore. Because I just feel like I need a shower.
Yeah, that was that was a skeezy song.
That's exactly right. Like, perfect worded. Like there's a lot. Oh, I'm trying to think of one of the other bands I've enjoyed too. Oh, they've got Blackstone Cherry. I don't know what to classify them because they might be actually more modern Southern rock.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
But they're really good. If you haven't checked them out, I don't know if they're making new music or not, but I do enjoy them.
I want to say they are.
I know they came out with an album, and the last one I know is, I think there's one from 2016, I think. Oh, there's one from last year. Well, I enjoy them. I just have not listened to them apparently in a while.
Yeah, man, the hard rock genre is just like, if you're like, anyone who's listening, if you're like not super familiar with it, go dive deep because there are some great bands in the hard rock genre.
Yeah, and I mean that when you just do, if you just look up rock genre again, you're gonna branch off into like 7 different ways, and you're gonna find something you enjoy. I think out of all the genres, honestly, for me growing up, like I discovered pop, which, like I said, my first album was Spice, but I discovered pop, and then I discovered, like, besides country, because that's what I really grew up on. But like it was like rock seemed to me like it branched off into because like without rock, then the punk genre happens, and then within punk, there's a different bunch of
right.
Like it really is probably the most diverse bubble term of all music.
And what's really cool about the hard rock genre is you're very much accepted, no matter like,
unless you're at Nickelback,
who you are. Like, you know, like it's the one place where like you feel kind of like at home. Like,
yeah.
You know, like I sometimes, like, don't get me wrong, like I'm a girl, I enjoy like a pop of color here and there, like, but overall, like, especially like when it's like fall and winter, like I love wearing me some all black, you know, like, and you know, when I was a teenager, like I did the whole, like, I don't want to say goth phase, but like, I mean, you just, I don't know, you enjoy darker things, and sometimes in the mainstream world, you can feel, people can make you feel weird, like you don't belong, like you're too different for them. And in the hard rock genre, like community, like that doesn't happen. Like you're very much like a part of something. And you feel that when you go to the concerts and stuff.
Yeah, no, I completely like. I feel like I fit in more at rock concerts and like punk than I do any other genre of music.
Yeah, I agree.
Because like after going to Rascal Flatts, I knew I did not fit in. Like, like don't get me wrong. I know that this is not the crowd that listens to what I do.
Yeah.
Like this show, more likely, but not like live. Like I'm like, I know that there might be like 2 people here who've heard me. Because like when we walked in, like there was one kid just talking about like, I apologize now, skinning his wiener. And I went, I don't want to hear about this. This is not my people. Like I'm out. Like, no.
This is not my people.
No, this is not my people. By the way, I looked up saliva just so I could talk, and all it did was take me to the Wikipedia page for spit.
You probably should have typed in saliva band.
Yeah, nope, realize that. That's what happened with me in Tantric as well. I also enjoy saliva. I love Josie Scott. But again, like they're still making music too, which is crazy.
Yeah, that is crazy.
I mean, they've had a good career. Like if you want a band, like another band who's had a really decent career in rock, they've had it. Like I think all their stuff kind of sounds the same, but
there was one song I think by Saliva that I really liked.
I like Click Click
but
Boom.
Other than that,
I
love
Click Click Boom.
I don't think it was that one.
Oh, I mean, there's a couple of songs. Like, I mean, I'll listen to Saliva and go, "Oh my god, I remember this song! Holy crap!"
Yeah.
And then the next thing I know, it's like, "Oh, Ladies and Gentlemen." Ladies and Gentlemen has ended up on a couple of things that I used to do a long, long time ago because that's a really good song. But again, not one of those. They're from Memphis. Did not know that. Okay.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
Huh.
Yeah, it's kind of like Puddle of Mud. They're from Kansas City. Look,
I never got into Puddle of Mud.
After, like, I like them. I like them before they got big because, you know, when you're doing, like, you're in the area, you see bands before they take off.
Yeah.
And then, like, whatever their first song was. And then She Hates Me came out. And I went, well, they're done.
They're another band that now when I look back at them, I think the word skeezy comes to mind.
Oh, we all sang along with She Hates Me.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And we still probably would sing along with She
Hates Me. The word skeezy comes to mind.
Oh no. 100% agreed. Like when Blurry came out, yeah, they're fine. Then She Hates Me came out and I went, yeah, they're done. And I mean they had 4 albums. Like the last album they had was 2009.
Oh wow. 10 years ago.
Yeah, they're not making new music.
No.
Oh, apparently they are. Apparently in 2018, December of 2018, it was announced that Puddle of Mud would be releasing a new album in 2019.
Well, guys, I wonder if that'll make our list.
Saving Abel is on here as well. That's a band I've not heard in forever either.
You know who else isn't bad? They're not great, but they're not bad. Theory of a Dead Man.
I like Theory. I like Theory a lot more than a few of the other bands we've discussed, but that's only because I've probably have more of their music on my playlist.
Okay. Yeah, I like a few of their songs.
But it's their mainstream stuff. Like, you want to talk about a genre that mainstream stuff's pretty much okay to listen to and like no one will really judge you hard? It's the rock genre. Like there's certain genres, like if you don't listen to the whole album, you're getting roasted.
Yeah.
And you know I'm right on that. Because dear God, I only knew like 7 Rascal Flatts songs and everybody was looking at me while I was not singing. Like, okay.
Yeah, I get that.
Is there any other bands? Like we said Skillet's great, but
yeah.
Okay.
I like Monster by Skillet a lot.
Yeah. They're fun. Like again, but like I feel like we have covered almost every band.
Yeah, I mean I think we covered quite a bit between the two of us.
Yeah, no, and that's pretty much what you can tell what we listened to in the early 2000s.
I mean, like these were the bands that, like I said, like that changed everything, you know?
Like for me, it was this and oh God, it probably was ska. It was this and ska. It was like 90% of my playlist at that time.
Yeah, in high school and college, it was this and like pop punk.
Which like sometimes also bleeds into ska. Like it's like it's so weird. Music's the rock genre I really do believe it is the best blanket term for all of like all the genres. Like I think it's the most diverse.
Yeah.
Because like country you can go so far, hip hop you can only go so far. pop you can only go so far, but rock's like, here's everything.
Yeah, that's true. Oh man. Yeah, we covered quite a bit.
This turned out to be a much crazier show than I thought it would.
It was good because we had a little bit of a debate with it too.
If you guys want more debates and episodes coming this summer, I got to make that Choose Your Own Adventure episode happen, and I'm still mad about that.
That's going to be amazing.
All right.
Yeah, so I think that about wraps up this episode. And then our next episode, we are going to have Matt back because he was so popular before when he was on. So when he comes on, we're going to be recapping last year's Lake Shake lineup and previewing this year's lineup because Lake Shake takes place in Chicago next weekend, which is the weekend of June 21st through the 23rd. Also happens to be my birthday weekend. So yeah, we'll have Matt back on next week or later this week on our next episode and to go over Lake Shake stuff. And then we're hoping to have some more interviews coming up as well. We'll keep you guys updated with that once we know. And yeah, obviously we'll have more new music to come. And if you guys have any comments, questions, or if you think we left off any bands that we should have had on here, feel free to send us an email, strikingacordofficial@gmail.com.
I swear to goodness, if anyone sends in the message that says we left Nickelback off this list, I will come to your house and we will recreate the entire last scene of Jay and Silent Bob Strikes Back.
Oh, no. You can also leave us some comments on our Facebook page, Striking A Chord Official. Send us or head over to our Instagram and leave some comments there, Striking A Chord. And then obviously we are on Twitter as well at Striking A Chord 6. And then you can also find us through the TBK Magazine's Facebook page.
At TBK Magazine. I'm lazy.
And don't forget to like us, rate us, review us on iTunes, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify. And don't forget to go pick up your Striking A Chord t-shirt from Shop TBK, as well as all the other awesome shirts on there. And yeah, until next time, happy listening.